Hi everyone. Before we start this video, you must accept that everything that I'm saying, that this woman that you will see shortly in a video is saying, is wrong. So whatever I'm telling that she is telling is translated by me wrongly, and I don't know basically what I'm telling. Everything is entertainment and only entertainment. If you have any issue in any area of your life, you should visit a licensed professional. You must also accept the terms down the description of this video before watching it, or simply don't watch it. Now, if you accept everything, let's start. So, guys and girls, maybe watching this video, we have this title, Being Uncomfortably Real About My Mental Stability. It's something that this young woman is saying. Now, if you wonder why I have more video from this young woman, it made me, I resonated with many things and I get her mentality. So it's interesting for me to make those videos. So let's start.
Can you literally imagine that there exist people on this earth who are mentally stable? What the actual? Because I cannot relate. Let me tell you, I cannot relate. I feel crazy, and I have also been told multiple times by people around me that I am crazy. But I have realized that even though I look around and people look put together, emotionally stable, they look poised, but I have realized that literally everyone is pretending. And if they're not pretending, they're just feeling good in that exact moment. But that doesn't mean that nobody feels like out of control from time to time, you know?
So the first thing she says is that other people recognize her some kind of strange in her behavior. I consider that she just has some awareness about some things and she got it pretty early. So this is kind of hard to deal in this age and in any age, I can say. So she recognized that most people are pretending and are saying and doing things just for others, just to not irritate others, just to appear as good people, perhaps and as bad people, uh, and are just pretending that for what they are saying, they don't mean what they say. In my opinion, I have seen that, I see that daily, even to myself. Uh, for example, if you were in conversation and you weren't interested about the topic and you started hearing and discussing about the topic, you obviously sacrificed for others. Or if someone told something, for example, I believe this, and you answered, but I believe that, again, you just try to tell your belief to the other person and make him believe what you believe basically. So uh, this again is an issue. So it's kind of crazy, especially this with the belief. If you watch your conversations with people, you may see that it happens many times. So if someone believes this thing, the other, it usually produces a conflict. While belief is nothing but information just to be tested. And this woman says that she probably sees this pretendance and many other stuff, and that doesn't make her feel so good, which is absolutely natural. So let's continue and see what else has to say.
And I have felt so not normal my whole life because I am a person with a lot of feelings, and when I do feel something, I feel it so strongly, and I wear my feelings on my sleeves. And that has actually not always been the case. I have tried to be like everybody else, and I've tried to hide my emotions and to hide this imperfection that I have, and I have always felt like it is an imperfection. But like, all it did to me when I tried to hide my feelings was it got so much worse. Let me tell you, I tried to just shut everything down and just dissociate, and always smile, always pretend to be happy and keep going. But what it did was, and I have mentioned this before, that all it did was it led me to the hospital multiple times because I thought that my body was like checking out. I got so bad stomach issues, and like it would hurt to the point where I literally thought that I had a serious illness. But I did, like, the doctors like checked my whole body out, and every like test they could do turned out completely fine and normal and even really good. And that's when you know that you have stress, okay? So, like, I can wake up and I have no idea how I am going to feel that day, okay? I don't know if I'm gonna be super happy and positive, or if I will not have any energy at all and be completely depressed, filled with anxiety, and like not believing myself. Like, it's a gamble every day. And I'm living on the edge. You never know what you're gonna get from me. Yeah, sadly that is the reality of being human. And then it's really hard to make plans with people, or to even have work, because you cannot like call in and be like, sorry, I'm not coming today. I am literally so unstable. My energy is at zero. So, I can't work today. Like,
As you see, this woman has even ended up, this young woman has ended up even to the hospital because she suppressed herself in order to have an image that other people would accept. And for example, let's say that every day you don't like to see certain type of movies, and you see it every day so other people accept you in their companies or in their company. Or for example, you have discussions through phone or whatever from the internet, I don't know, which you don't care, and you just discuss just to discuss, so you don't reject the other person because you will feel irritated that the other person will feel irritated, or because you don't want to end up alone and discard everyone or almost everyone. So put this in many other situations, the fake smiles, the fake relationships, the fake I love you, the fake you are my friend, I care, and all these fake thing going on. It's not always fake. It can be fake in an extent. I can discuss this in other videos. But it is, the fakeness is a lot, and after we fake for many years, we forget our preferences and how we are, what we prefer, how we prefer to be. And this, in my experience, which is something that has happened to me many times, and I have ways to deal with such things for myself. Shuts down your energy, which means that the more you pretend, the more energy you exert to pretend so you get the outcome from other people or any environment. And if the mask you put is not, let's say, congruent with your real preferences of being as a human, then your energy will, in my experience, my energy, so to speak, uh, is withdrawn. So the let's say that you work, for example, and someone doesn't pay you, you start losing the energy to work. Okay. Let's say that you are doing something, a project, try to build something, you do it 1, 2, 3 months, 4, 6 months, 12, and you see that it doesn't produce money, just eats you money, and it doesn't move generally. The system withdraws energy then, and you start losing energy, okay? As you lose money and you lose effort, you can also lose and energy by the way you behave in general in the environment. So this woman has ended up in this situation many times, and that's why in other videos she got lonely for many years, because it's easier to be alone, and I agree with that, than to exert so much energy to have people around you that they don't care about your real self, okay? Or maybe they are even your enemies in some cases, you know, they disagree with everything. So let's continue now.
That is not acceptable. But most of the time, I am feeling like I cannot bare minimum, you know? Like on my worst days, I cannot even mask being pretending to be a normal human, you know? And by masking my whole life, I have like learned that it is not okay to be myself. And that is just like sad, because I literally know now that we all go through periods like this, and it is so exhausting to be masking all the time, and that is why I have been burnt out so many times in my life. Like, and even when I do open up to people, they never understand. They all it does was that it just gets worse when I really do open up, because people, they somehow don't want to hear how you are struggling, because these people are also like emotionally immature. They cannot handle someone else's emotions, let alone their own. So when someone comes and really opens up to them, they haven't even faced themselves. So how are they gonna take your big and strong emotions? Like, they are so uncomfortable with their own. So when you come with your uncomfortable feelings, they cannot handle it. And I always thought that it was something wrong with me, that they thought that I was crazy and that I was too much and that I just should shut up. But like now I realized that that is not the case. It really has nothing to do with me. It has everything to do with them. And you know, I think that that is partly also why I have avoided people so much, because I have never felt like it is okay to not mask and to just be myself and to express when I'm not feeling well. Like, I have always been met with these crazy reactions to my feelings. Like, hello? Aren't we all feeling so much, or is it just me? And I also feel like I have avoided people because since I never feel like I am really emotionally stable, I have always unconsciously searched for mentally stable people, or at least emotionally intelligent people. And to be honest, I have never really felt safe emotionally with barely anyone. Like only my sister.
So this woman says that she has strong emotions and people cannot handle it. So truth is, in my experience, that no one is fine. I have dealt in my life, so to speak, because of works I was doing and goes on, and environments I have been with people who you would consider that if you were them successful, very successful, they would be much better emotionally. No, they aren't. And in many cases, they have even worse emotions. So it's not something that is related to things we I don't say if you don't have to pay your rent, okay, it's a problem, or you don't have to eat. But if you have to eat more than necessary and you have to choose from those all those options around, then you will get more stress than having just the basics. Um, Anyways, this woman, with other words, says that I have these issues, and she just knows that she uh, has some feelings and she sees some things about reality and she expressed that, while most people just avoid that. And I understand them. And I understand sometimes, like lately, I am doing it. Because seeing life with clear eyes, it is really hard. Okay, it's really hard. It may flash out things you believed from the day you were born, and this is really painful. Okay, so she cannot deal with people for those reasons, and this obviously caused her to isolate herself. And I isolated myself, but much later. I don't know how old she is. Um, I guess she must be more than 22, 23, 20, 24, I don't know. Uh, I started feeling this after 31, 32. It started a bit earlier, but at that age I just started shutting down people. And unfortunately, there are levels in this life, and most people don't want to, and I don't want. Okay, no one wants that to face the next level of life, seeing things more clearly, you know. And that's why she isolated herself based on my own life experience. The other thing is when you speak about things that people avoid, even if they know deeply those things, they make those eyes, you know, that they start getting distracted with other stuff to avoid hard conversations. They start talking about the television, their work, what they eat today, how their prices are high, or some problems about their work, whatever. Whatever else to avoid hard conversations about the real truth of their life. Um, and they do it because if they just face those things, they will see first of all that they haven't faced them for decades now, and this is really, how can I say, it's so irritating emotionally. I still go in the past to face things, and it's really painful. And this woman just does it. That's why she says people haven't faced their own emotions, because everyone deep inside knows some things, and life is basically it's not just this bubble, go to university or build something and then just buy a house and make a family. It's not. Life is much more complicated than that. But anyways, let's continue to see what else has to say.
And I feel like, yeah, that must be why I avoid people so much, because I always leave feeling more stressed, more anxiety driven, and just never understood. And so always feel like, okay, if I feel worse after I have been with people, why should I even bother? And like, why are people romanticizing relationships so much? Because I have never understood. Because I never feel better after, hanging out with people, most of the times at least. And I always feel like when I do open up to people, they, like I said, they always react in a crazy, they always react in such a strong way. And they always they always make me feel like I should get medicated and that I need to be hospitalized. But that just makes me, once again, avoid people even more as well. Because then I just feel like all I wanted was people to understand and people to, I just needed a shoulder to cry on, I just needed someone to hear me and to see my struggles and not make me feel like a crazy person. I just wanted to be understood. And when I can't get that, it makes me want to avoid people, and it makes me feel even more alienated in this world. So like, if someone comes up to you and they are just venting to you, please take it from me and just listen to them. You don't have to feel like you have to fix the people who are venting to you. Like, they are not looking to be fixed. Everyone knows how to really heal. I believe that. Like, I believe that we do not need any more knowledge. We are all born with the knowledge of knowing how to be a good human and good to each other. And we know how to heal ourselves. It's just sometimes we don't want to see that. And then venting to people is the best thing that we can do, because that forces you to see yourself and to hear yourself. So when people open up to you, don't try to fix them, because I know we are taught that we should always bring value to people, and we should always, be at service to people. But the best thing that you can do in that situation is just to listen to them and make them feel like they are not alone. And also to us who feel like we are not stable, we should not aim.
I will try to tell something to whoever was until this point, that people many times don't want our help. And this goes in for men who try to help women and then women get disinterested. This is because if someone is not feeling good about something, it's not always that thing that must be fixed so the other person feels better. For example, a person maybe complains about the weather, but it may not be the weather if he's really honest. It may be the regret this person has for decades. He spent on his life in a wrong career, or a wrong marriage, or much harder things, okay? Now, if you try to fix someone also, and I'm really sorry to tell, but it communicates that you don't have value. And I don't mean if someone needs to go to the hospital for real to don't call the ambulance. This is something obviously we must do. But I mean that if people want someone who has some value to offer, and people who have value to offer, they aren't giving it uh, for mercy. Okay, they make you do some work to get it. This now may sound complicated for some of you, but if someone doesn't put the work to get something, this someone or make an exchange, whatever. This someone really communicates that he or she doesn't want help. Because if he or she does, he or she would do something. Even if something is not to fix his problem, he may say, okay, I'll do something for you, I will, whatever, okay, whatever. So if you give for free, you lose energy and you get nothing back, which is something I've done in my life, and I regret it, of course. And yeah, we have been trained to get smiles and thank you instead of real actual value. Now, obviously, in my opinion, going and sharing your problems with others is not a good thing. To all people, at least, this is because you are in your head. You don't understand that, and the other person obviously is living in this crazy world, okay, and he or she has issues. So it needs some intent. Okay, maybe you go to speak to a friend about some things, good, but to random people saying stuff will have the consequence usually other people to identify someone as a drainer, and this is something that's not good because then people identify someone as a bad resource for their lives. So yeah, from the other place there are many things that go in that. You can lose your competition level because people know where they can hit, and this is something that is a bit deeper. Okay, if you do business, others must not know the uh, some things, for example, about your business, so to speak. You can't speak the problems about your business to someone who may tell you to a competitor, because he will know when to push his efforts more. Because now you have problems, so now is his turn. Now let's see what else he has to say. It's interesting, however, that so young woman can see some things really interesting.
To be perfect all the time. And we should just feel like it is okay to be imperfect and to have our small moments of, yeah, outrageous, I don't know. And we are still deserving to live in life, and still deserving to do all of the things in life that makes us happy. We're still allowed to be humans. And that is what I wanted to say with this video. So at least if you can relate to this video, you are not alone. And yeah, that's what brings us humans closer, I guess. So yeah, thank you for watching this far. I hope to see you in the next video. Bye!
Now she smiles because I guess she said the things she would like to say, and people. Of course, she didn't say exactly the things that to make her emotional, but she said her opinion and she likes that. Okay. But in a normal conversation, if you go and say those things, people won't hear them. People live in the machine. You go in a place, you buy what they have, they give you that thing, that's it. You go in a place, you work, you do the thing for some other people, they give the money, and that's it. So there isn't much real. It's yeah, it's something to discuss in another video. Probably drop a comment if you want some videos more about those things. I have investigated many years, and it can be funny, it can be sad, but reality is reality. So like, comment, share, whatever, and until next time.